Join Leliana at the Chantry in Valance. Yes. Let's do that. A letter written by Divine Justinia and posthumously delivered to Leliana directed Leliana to visit Valance, a small village on the waking sea. The Divine left something in the Chantry that Leliana must see. Bada bing, bada boom. Let's go. Huh. Man's changed his fucking thing. Looks sorrowful. But bruh, you're the one that fucking ended it. My face when, man. My fucking face when. I'm not gonna get over this anytime soon. I can't believe he let it get all that way and then said nah. I'm the one that gets to make the nah choice, man. You don't get to do this.
It's just as I remember it.
You've been here before?
You didn't tell me you'd been here before. After the Blight ended, I came here to see Justinia. She was just Dorothea then, a revered mother.
Peaceful little chantry?
It's peaceful here. You must have good memories of this place. It was a place of comfort. It is good to see it still untouched by Corypheus.
Leliana, is that you?
Sister Natalie, what are you doing here? I thought you were in Val Rayo.
No, I've been here since Justinia died. This place makes me feel like she's still with us.
Inquisitor, this is Natalie, a trusted friend.
Wait, Inquisitor? You brought the Inquisitor here? My lady, forgive me for not recognizing you earlier.
You'll pay penance for that.
You owe me 20 readings of the Canticle of Trials for that insult.
She doesn't mean it. Natalie, listen. There is something hidden here. Something Justinia left for me.
Oh, really? What is it?
I don't know, but we'll find it. I'm curious to see what brought us all here. Justinia's letter came with instructions for me. They were a little cryptic. Always remember that faith sprung from a barren branch, that light has no fear of darkness. Above all, that strength lives in an open heart.
She must be hinting at something in here. Let's look around.
Do they still sing verses from the benedictions every Friday? That canticle was Justinia's favorite.
Yes, of course. We'd never give up the traditions of our most beloved divine.
That is lovely to hear.
Aww.
I stare up at the breach sometimes. It's terrifying, but beautiful in its way.
It is beautiful.
Have you seen it by sunrise?
When the sun rises through it, it splits into what looks like 1,000 suns, like a broken mirror.
Yes, spectacular, isn't it? You must be careful, Natalie. Justinia's enemies are making their move, vying for position and the Sunburst throne.
Anything else? Okay.
I was in the cloister in Lothering when the Blight began. There was a lot of fear back then. No one knew what was going to happen, whether we would live or die. And then one morning, I found a single bloom on a dead rose bush. And I thought, even in the midst of all this, life finds a way. The Maker hasn't abandoned us.
The Maker hasn't abandoned us, Copium.
That compassion was my greatest strength. Doubt is easy. It takes courage to trust.
Okay.
What was that? Looks like we opened something.
Hello.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
Wait, what? I'm confused. What's happening?
Good old Leliana was playing you the whole time. Didn't you realize?
They never sing the benedictions here on Fridays, Natalie. Something so simple. And you got it so wrong. I wanted to believe, but you were lying from the start. Keep that pretty mouth shut if you must, dear. You've already told me everything I need to know. The prickleweed burrs on your hem, talking about the sun rising through the breach. It all points to a single place. Morel in the Dales, Grand Cleric Victoire's bastion. She sent you, didn't she? Victoire was always an opportunist.
Right, I forgot that she said that others would be there trying to find it before us. Grand Cleric Victoire?
Who is this Grand Cleric? I've never heard of her.
An experienced cleric. She never agreed with Justinia, but kept her ideas to herself. I suppose now, with Justinia dead, she thought she could make her move.
What were your plans?
I want to know what this Grand Cleric planned here.
She sent Natalie here to see what Justinia was hiding, no?
The Inquisition has turned Thedas away from the true chantry. It must be stopped.
Stop us? You must be joking.
Mother Victoire is well loved by many. The Inquisition has more enemies than you know.
And Victoire thinks she can ally with them.
She's not going to join us. Good, we know our enemy.
Good work. We know the name of our enemy. That's half the battle won.
Exactly.
Kill me then. I am not afraid to die for my beliefs. At least I still know what I believe.
She's not done anything worthy of death.
Release her, Leliana. She is no threat.
The Grand Cleric.
She is one woman. We are the Inquisition.
The Inquisitor has spoken. Run. Tell your mistress that she has a choice. The Inquisition is coming.
You're welcome. For your life. And it's a jack-in-the-box.
This can't be it. There's nothing here.
Wait, what? Hidden bottom? It's not nothing? What? Oh, it's saying that... I get it. It's saying that Leliana doesn't need anything from her. She's already got everything she needs, is what that is.
It's not what you expected. That doesn't mean it's nothing.
There's a message carved in the lid. The left hand should lay down her burden. She's releasing me. The divine has a long reach, but it is always her left hand that stretches out. 1,000 lies, 1,000 deaths. Her commands, but my conscience that bore the consequences.
What she said in the fade.
She apologized in the fade. She said she failed you. This is what she meant.
All this time, Justinia carried the fear that she was using me, just like I'd been used in the past. But Marjolaine's games were trifles. Justinia gambled with the fate of nations. She needed me. No one else could have done what I did. She knows that.
Stop torturing yourself, bro.
Then you have to let it go. Let her go. You don't owe her anything anymore.
If it were not for you, I would have killed Natalie and called it a good thing. Thank you for showing me what was right when I couldn't see it for myself. There are things that must be said, but not here. I will see you back at Skyhold.
Okay. I guess there's no fighting. I didn't need to... Why did it make me pick who my team members were if they never show up and there's no fighting? That's weird. Could we... Was there anything to find in here? Like, is this just... No. That's just nothing. Alright. Boop. 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 Boop, 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 boop. Can we get through this loading screen, please? Fuck me, it's taking forever. Oh! Hooray! 8! Woo! Yeah!
Fancy meeting you here.
I should go.
Try not to kill anyone without me.
Will do, man.
Grand Cleric Victoire has offered the ambassador support for the Inquisition.
Oh?
Ah, Natalie is as persuasive as ever.
That's a surprise.
I'm told that Ambassador Montilier is pleased with the restraint you showed in Valance.
She's positively beside herself. I will never hear the end of it.
Niceness before knives, Leliana. Haven't I always told you?
Will that be all, my lady?
For now.
What an impression. What an impression. Ah, new friends. How are you?
How have you been feeling since Valance?
Good. Wonderful. Valance was something of a rebirth for me. If you hadn't been with me at Valance, I would have killed Natalie. I'd have told you that I didn't have a choice. But there is always a choice. I am more than this. I am more than what Justinia made me.
Are you quitting?
What does this mean for my Inquisition? Will you still be my spy master?
Of course. I would not give up my post. Not after everything we've built. I just know now that I shouldn't ignore my heart. Mercy is not always a weakness.
Are you angry with Justinia?
Do you resent Justinia for what she did?
How can I when there is so much between us? When she gave her life for peace? No, I believe her intentions were pure. Most intentions are.
You're more than even she was.
You've exceeded her. She could never have imagined the power you now hold.
And now I will know how to use that power wisely. I have to stay true to who I really am, before a spy master, left hand or bard. I almost lost myself.
Nice. Anything more to say?
At your service, my lady.
Anything I should know?
I've nothing to report at the moment.
Cool. That was really good. That was some good shit. That was some good shit. Right, so what is next? Didn't Cullen give us a thing? It was this, right? Defeat Carroll. Inquisition agents have lured Carroll the Red Templar responsible for manipulating the Freemen of the Dales to... No, wait, it wasn't this, was it? Map. Map. Oh, right, we need to go and hand that in. Yeah. Let's go and do that. By the grace of the Dalish. Exalted Plains. Which was here. And then... was it these? Was it here? I think it was here, right? We can hand those in and then see if there's anything more that they ask of us, or if we're just done. Because that was to get an agent, right? Someone wanted to come with us. If memory serves, it's been a bit. It has been a bit. Speak to Lornil. Was it you?
Welcome again, friend.
Heyo, level
I
13.
don't believe it. You convinced the Keeper. He said I can join the Inquisition if I wish.
You're allowed to join us?
Keeper Howen has given you permission to join the Inquisition.
He has. I'll report to your camp in the south if that's all right.
Carry on, Agent.
Poggers. Big clap. Alright, what's main man got to say about it?
Valen, I was wrong about your Inquisition. Although the humans named you herald of their prophet, your devotion to your people is undiminished. Perhaps you will be the bridge that others hope you are. If Lorinel still wishes to join you, he has my blessing.
Nice slave markings on your face, by the way, mate. Cool. Alright. Sweet. There wasn't anything else I wanted to do here, was there? No. 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 Alright, cool. So. It's weird that we can go back to the Lost Temple of Dirthamen, but we can't go back to the place we just went with Leliana. Right, where next? Where next? That was the Exalted Plains thing. Don't care about the map. Don't care about the sketch. Fallow Mire is just that fucking thing. We should go here now. Was it? I think it was fire, right? Yeah. That's DLC. That I still have not found any Philandris, I don't think. Hissing Wastes, we need to just go there. Skyhold, we need to build the garden. Fuck the books. Okay, cool. Oasis. Do the thing. Do the thing. Do the thing. Let's do the thing. 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 Let's go do the thing. Come on. Hop, hop, hop diddy hop, hop diddy hop diddy hop diddy hop. Hop, hop, hop diddy hop. Hello again. Goodbye. So much walking and nothing to fucking say while getting there. We all know what we're doing. Yoink. 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 Okay, I can't go any higher than that. That is capping out how high my voice can go. And open sesame. Superb belt of fire resistance. Pretty sure we already have that. Well, hey. Dum 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 da dum dum ba dum. Now, I'm pretty sure it said we don't have enough to even start the next one, right? Which means there must be so many fucking shards to collect in the final couple of areas. Yeah, we don't have enough shards to open that door, let alone the second door, let alone the third door. Fuck me. So all of those shards have to be in the last two areas, which is just depressing as fuck. And then I assume we'll be able to go in there once it's all done. Right. So now we are going to back to the Emerald Graves, Puppet Master, defeat Carroll. Jump to map. Where is he at? Where the bitch, where the bitch, where the bitch at? Is it this? I assume it's that. Apparently I can't mark it on the map, sure. Where the bitch, where the bitch, where the bitch at? Come here, Carroll. I just want to talk, Carroll.
I won't do anything to harm you, Carroll. Just come out to play. Carroll.
Fuck me, come on. There we go. Oh, nice. Now it's marked. Okay. Here, Carroll, 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 Carroll. Here, Carroll, 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 Carroll. Surprise! Holy shit, what the fuck? They just annihilated my health bar. Bruh. I'm gonna need some backup, guys. That's the first time I felt in danger in, like, a long, long time. I've literally felt no danger for the last, like, 20 hours. That was crazy, the damage they suddenly put out there. Really? He just dropped cash? What are we thinking about Dorian's new look? I quite like it, actually. I think it's quite good. We've got some levels, got some levels, we've got some levels, got some levels. Reduces their armor. They don't react until they take significant damage. If a walking bomb kills your target, it spreads nearby enemies. 900% weapon damage. Yeah, that's pretty good. What was this one again? Oh, if it dies while being marked, it mimics the body. Right, yeah, we've seen that happen quite a bit. Longer and harder. Heh. Phrasing. I'm thinking maybe we just go with 50% weapon damage per second. Sounds pretty good to me. Cassandra. Meh. Sure. And Solus, some rifty stuff for you, buddy. There you go, lad. Right, do we need to go and report in to Cullen about that, or... No, it's just over, I guess. Okay. Well... That's like everything, right? That's the main quest. Imprise de Leon, Imprise de Leon. DLC. Imprise de Leon. No. No. Can't do it yet. DLC. No. Hissing Wastes. Can't do it yet, and no. So, yeah, we are good to go. So... if we head back to the old hold in the sky, I guess we go speak to Cullen, see if he has anything more to say, but it doesn't seem like he will. I assume it would, if he had more to say, he wouldn't have just continued to be the quest? I don't know. Oh, we haven't fucking read the Codex. I meant to read Codex. It feels like it's been ages since we've done any Codex reading. And I'm sure there are shitloads that we've picked up and haven't got to. What's the fastest way to him? It's up through here, right? Or actually, no, it's just up here.
At your order.
Who the fuck are you?
Yes?
Nope.
That's all.
He didn't have anything new to say. Alright. Okay.
Inquisitor.
I can't believe he hasn't got anything more to say. Fucking Solus, man. I don't believe it. I can't believe it. I can't believe you've done this. We got a new perk, right? What are we gonna get? Do not know. 10% increase to defenses, maybe. Max healing potions up. Yeah, why not? Sure, let's just do that because I really. There's nothing I super care about.
I fear for her.
Fear for her, rather than fearing what she will do. You do care.
I would have concern for anyone who came into contact with that thing.
Defeat Marquis Buffon. Marquis Buffon has been killed, along with Lady Lagaspe and her Venatori allies. Thanks to Sister Leliana's scouts, we were able to gain covert entry into the fortress, although the Venatori still managed to use their magic against the Grey Wardens to significant effect. The Grey Wardens have taken losses, but their morale remains high, and their loyalty to the Inquisition is undisputed. Sweet. The Jarl's invitation. I cannot thank you enough for inviting me to act as the Inquisition's champion at the Grand Melee. You will be glad to hear I did not disgrace you. I place a respectable 10th. Although I did not manage to win us either title or lands, I did secure several trade agreements with the Banon for the Inquisition. I thought that might please you more than a dank castle. It does. It does. And Cullen, well done, Cullen. Who's a good boy? You managed to get 6 onyx. Well in, mate. Well in. Inflate Inquisition numbers.
That Dalish elf who joined us is eager, to say the least.
The Dalish possess great knowledge. We should be honored to have him with us.
Inquisitor, with most of our forces still returning from the Temple of Mythal, it's important that our enemy not suspect the weakness of our current state. I can take some of the charges on patrol in Inquisition uniforms and create enough of a disturbance to give enemy scouts the impression of a much larger force. Leliana, my scouts have done similar work. They may even be able to ambush enemy forces. It's a good idea. We don't have the manpower to do much more. Sure.
To work?
Thanks from a Chantry sister. Inquisitor Llewellyn. You may not remember me. I stayed at Skyhold for a time and later accompanied some injured soldiers to Ferelden. Our journey was more perilous than expected, and I only lived to write this thanks to the aid of the Inquisition. I have little to offer, but if I may help the Inquisition in some small way, you have only to ask. I could arrange to transfer her to the Chantry in Denerim. Having a reliable ally in the capital's Chantry could prove valuable. Sister Paulette showed bravery and kindness in staying with the injured soldiers. She has already done more than was asked. Let her remain with her fellow sisters in peace. And Cullen with that. It's probably a Leliana one. I'm just thinking, do I have time to do that when I want to set a 6-hour one or whatever at the end of the next recording session? Unfortunately, I don't think I do. Investigate Duke Antoine of Wickham. Nightingale. I have new information regarding Duke Antoine of Wickham's move against the Inquisitor's Dalish clan. It appears that Wickham has been experiencing some sort of plague that affects only humans. The Duke has kept news of the disease quiet, as his fellow nobles grow louder in their anger, blaming the elves and the alienage for what has been called the knife-eared plague. Antoine evidently chose to use Clan Llewellyn as a scapegoat. His surreptitious moves against the Dalish was an attempt to convince his nobles that he was taking action. Suspicions in the city remain high. I can gather information, but any action on my part will be high risk. Leliana, it's risky, but I could attempt to send assassins to end Wickham and his threats to the Dalish. Or, Wickham believes himself an ally. My ambassadors can go where Leliana's agents cannot. But is ambassadors what we want, or do we just want to kill this motherfucker? I feel like maybe we should just kill this motherfucker. Let's see what this one is. The Venatori are smuggling red lyrium into Antiva, but thus far they've evaded our grasp. We believe Lord Enzo of Rialto is assisting them. Enzo is clever, well-liked, and has relations among Antivan royalty. If we approach him without proof, he will bury his tracks and turn his allies against us. We must handle this carefully. Leliana, Lord Enzo attends the theatre on the same night each week. His home is empty, save a few servants during that time. My agents could pay a visit. I have a cousin. If she threw a soiree and invited Lord Enzo, his house would be clear for Leliana's agents. Yeah, let's go for Josephine on that one.
Let us begin.
And then let's go for Leliana on that one.
Inquisitor.
Boom. Okay, one sec. Just gotta plug in the old... Oops. Plug in the old headset. There we go. Right, so... let us do a little bit of Codex reading to finish out the session. Blackwall. Right, this is a whole additional bit for Blackwall. Constable of the Grey, Silverite Wings of Valor. Hardly relevant now. They award Blackwall's achievements, and the man we thought to be him was someone else entirely. It explains why I had scant information on Blackwall. He must have been lying low for years. I compiled everything I had on Thomas Rainier. Read on. What follows is a history of him prepared by Leliana. Rainier was born in Markham, a city-state in the Free Marches. There's little information on his early life, but he was already a skilled warrior by the time he turned 18. Hoping to make his fortune, he joined the Grand Tourney, that great marcher contest of arms. He won the melee, proving himself and earning a substantial sum of gold. What happened to the coin he won in the tourney is a mystery. 2 years later, he appeared in Orlais, no richer than at 18. Still, he leveraged his abilities and lingering fame to gain a place in the Orlesian army. He quickly excelled as a soldier, rising through the ranks to become a captain with a number of men under him. His men were fiercely loyal, and sources believe many would have gladly defied a higher command at his word. On the surface, he safeguarded his men's interests, but further investigation reveals he was primarily concerned with his own advancement and profit. His desire to amass a fortune likely explains his involvement in the massacre of Lord Vincent Callier and his family, as sources tell us that he was approached by a chevalier, Sir Robert Chapuis. Sir Robert supported Grand Duke Gaspard's claim to the throne and wished to enter into his good graces by eliminating Lord Callier, one of Celine's staunchest allies. He hired Rainier to assassinate Callier and offered him a great deal of coin for it. We have no reason to believe his actions were politically motivated. In the spring of 935, Lord Callier and his family were travelling to their summer home when their caravan was ambushed. It is unknown if Rainier realised that Callier would be travelling with his family. He says he didn't, I believe him. Rainier and his men slaughtered and his entourage. They spared not even the children, all 4 under the age of 13. It seems that none of Rainier's men were aware of the true reasons behind the Lord's killing. They simply followed Rainier's orders. Rumours of his connection to the murders began swirling through the upper ranks of the army and must have given him full warning. He was gone when guards came to arrest him. His men, however, were not so lucky. Almost all were charged with treason, save a few who managed to get away. Tom Rainier was labelled a traitor and a criminal, but remained at large until now. Briala. Watch out for the elves in Helam Shiral. Almost no one notices they're even present. A servant scrubbing floors, a waiter filling glasses, undergardeners weeding the border, maids and valets dressing nobles. There's no room, alcove, or alley. Alley? Alley so private you can't find one there. And they're watching. They're organised. The rumour you've heard of some mastermind leading the elves is no rumour. I have reports that this Briala was Celine's personal spy and assassin. A bard of unusual skill. Who she's working for now, we cannot confirm. Say nothing. They will hear you. Right, was there more in here? Yes, there is. Oh yeah, right here. Grand Duchess Floriane. Your Grace, you requested the swiftest, surest method of getting a message to Grand Duke Gaspard, so I have arranged for you to meet with his sister, Grand Duchess Floriane de Chalons. While she is of the least account among the current heirs to the Elysian throne, her connection to her brother is extremely close. Gaspard will listen to anything she says. Be persuasive. Grand Duke Gaspard, Lady Mantelon. I can offer no apology for my nephew's behaviour the other night. Gaspard has never betrayed any interest in following my advice. In truth, everything he said to you at the dinner party he has also said to me. His resentment of being deprived of the throne has festered for some time, and he was never one to accept defeat gracefully. I would take Gaspard's threats of war seriously. I do not believe my nephew knows how to resolve problems through the use of anything but steel. If his record on the battlefield is any indication, he is quite adept at doing so. I shall be increasing my personal guard directly. Morrigan! Man, the art is so fucking good. All of this unique art for every card. Crazy. Monsieur, I too am concerned about this new advisor to the Imperial Court. If Celine is truly curious about magic, why not turn to Madame Defer with her questions? Why seek out this dark-haired apostate from Ferelden? Why bring the woman here? After a great deal of surveillance, I can reassure you somewhat. I do not believe this Morrigan has our Empress ensorcelled. There is no way to be certain, of course, but the witch and Celine argue often. If Morrigan tells Celine something unpleasant, she will avoid the witch for months before curiosity draws her back. Morrigan has an interest in ancient things, magic from a time before the Chantry even existed, and it is this pursuit that intrigues Celine. Morrigan can answer questions that Madame Defer either could not or would not. Whether any pertain to blood magic or other forbidden things, that I can only suspect. 3 of my spies disappeared after attempting to breach the spells protecting this woman's laboratory in the depths of the palace. I would raise a fuss, but then my efforts would be revealed, even though I doubt I am alone. The entire court is consumed with curiosity, and the more Celine keeps her in the sidelines, the more we all wish to know. Our Empress plays with fire. Considering she has yet to find herself a husband to solidify the future of her dynasty, these dealings with the apostate are one more nail in her coffin. That's it. Wait, what? I'm still missing one? Where? Over there. Impress Celine. My dear Viscount, I congratulate you on securing an invitation to appear at court. Allow me to present you with these 3 words of advice as a gift. Don't underestimate that dead woman. You must not mistake her reputation as a diplomat and peacemaker to mean she avoids conflict. Dozens of her enemies litter the bottom of the harbour in Val Royeaux. Negotiation did not send them there. She is as shrewd and ambitious as her grandfather Judicael I, but unlike him, she knows how to handle the nobility. She built the University of Orlais, the most vehemently opposed project in Orlesian history, because she knew how to win the support she needed to overcome even her bitterest rivals. She can keep a pet apostate in front of the chantry because even the divine fears her influence. Do enjoy your visit to the palace. Crafting mats. I continue to not give a single fuck about crafting mat lore. Creatures. Arcane horror. We know what an arcane horror is. Ram. Don't care. Fear. It's just, yeah, I mean, the demon stuff is all much of a likeness for their descriptions, isn't it? Gurgut. Red Templar Archers. Take aim. Red lyrium isn't the weak stuff they fed you all your life. The song is deeper. It's got a will of its own. Tame it, and it will do things the chantry's instructors never dreamed of. Listen. Focus on the arrow in your hand. Pour power into it when it leaves the bow. That strength can fly across a battlefield and punch a hole through the thickest armor. Soon you won't need to stop to hear it. Practice, and the song will always be in your blood and fire. That's everything. Groups. The old yellow star on the yellow background. What are we looking for? Over here. The Sentinel Elves. Elves ambushed us just when the Master said they would, 5 days into the wilds. They move faster than any elf I've seen, and they know the forest like they were born into it. The ones who escape melt back into the shadows. They're strong and they know no fear. Every damn elf we cut down fights till the last. The attacks have slowed since we doubled the watch. We've killed enough to make them pause. Coryphia says the elves call themselves Sentinels. We were going over the plan for the final assault in their temple, and he told me the elves were frightening are the last true priests of their old gods. Before I could stop myself, I asked how he knew. I felt like a damn fool the moment the words left my mouth, but the Master just looked at me, then opened his hand. A second later, that magic orb was floating over it. He told me it was elven, that events made him believe it came to him for a purpose. The Master turned, and I thought I was dismissed, but his voice stopped me before I left. He said, solemn as I've ever known him, that there were many things he couldn't tell me, that he hid them, so I would stay focused on the well. He said that while I'll sacrifice much, there will be no secrets once I've become the vessel. I left then, but I can't stop thinking about it. I'd swear there was regret in those last words. Wish I knew exactly what for. Excerpt from a logbook kept by Samson. The rest of the book is blackened by fire. Whoa-hey. History. Ancient elven writing. This elven writing found in the Arbor Wilds is so old, there seems to be no way to learn what it means. What? Bruh. Untranslatable elven writing. Veilfire script was hidden in the Arbor Wilds, can't be translated. And unreadable. You motherfuckers! What was the point in fucking getting it then? Wicked eyes and wicked hearts. The old gods will call to you. From their ancient prisons they will sing. Dragons with wicked eyes and wicked hearts. On blackened wings does deceit take flight. The first of my children, lost tonight. The dissonant Canticle of Silence is an alternate creation story to the versions in the Canticle of Threnodies. Much of the Canticle is written from the point of view of the Maker himself, as he addresses humankind, which is why it was ultimately considered a blasphemous presumption and removed from the verses of the chant. Popularly attributed to Archon Hessarian, Silence depicts the Maker as more sorrowful at the corruption and betrayal of his children, both spirit and mortal. He mourns the fall and corruption of the old gods as his own mistake, and urges his mortal children to turn aside from the dark path their elder siblings have led them down. Most historians agree that Archon Hessarian had indeed likely written this canticle during the bloody Tevinter Transfiguration. Literary scholars of the Imperiums often cite this as one of the oldest recorded pieces of propaganda. In the 6th verse, the grieving Maker calls upon his mortal children to acknowledge that the dragon gods have manipulated and deceived them, and to throw off their corruptive influence and return to the light. As the people of Tevinter rose up and slaughtered anyone remaining faithful to the old gods, this became the rallying cry of the most terrible bloodbath in the history of the Imperium. What pride had wrought. And as the black clouds came upon them, they looked on what pride had wrought, and despaired. The work of man and woman, by hubris of their making, the sorrow, a blight unbearable. Pride. What other sin wounds us so deeply as pride? It drove the old Tevinter Magisters to blacken the Golden City. It pushed Mafarath to betray beloved Andraste, and it has made fools of kings and peasants ever since the Maker formed us from nothing. Pride disguises itself in surety. Who among us has not looked at our fair country and thought, surely we are safe here, under protection. Our world will last forever, for we are mighty and wise. These verses say to the faithful, go and look upon the ruins of old, and ask who remembers the faces of those who dwelled there. Only the Maker's knowledge is complete. The words he gave to us through blessed Andraste are the one true constant in our world. A land without the chant is doomed to be forgotten by time. That is something that I do think about sometimes, is that, like, everything, like, obviously, the world's not in a fantastic state. There's lots of shit that goes wrong and stuff. But as an overall, like, entity, most governments and, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, institutions, I guess, all feel like they're not going anywhere. Like, I don't think that our government is going to, like, implode and some different system will come up or anything. But, like, you look at the past and you look at everything, like, every single governmental system and every single empire and every single, like, all of that has fallen. And there's been many, 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 many of them. And over a long period of time, there's been so many, and they've all eventually fallen. And it's like, is it stupid to think that the current ones are not going to fall? Like, is it not just, like, sensible to assume that at some point it's all going to implode and new systems will rise from their ashes, kind of thing? I don't know. It's just interesting to think about. Like, because it all seems pretty stable, but it's like, yeah, it never has been in the past, so why would now be any different? Because I'm sure, like, in the Roman Empire, I'm sure everything seemed pretty stable, and then not so much, kind of thing. So, you know, it's just interesting to think about. Illuvians. Let me tell you something. There are mirrors. Old mirrors from the ancient times when our people ruled every part of this land. Only they're not really mirrors. They're Illuvians. You find some dusty old scholar, he's going to tell you that people use Illuvians to talk to each other. Don't believe it. They're portals. You walk into one and eventually you come out the other side, or at least that's what I'm told. You ever wonder why they never found any elven roads? They've never found any elven roads, like our ancestors never walked anywhere? That's why. They used Illuvians, and there are still Illuvians in the old places today. Some of them even work, and Briala knows where they are. If we can get our hands on them, we'll have an advantage that no human could ever hope to counter. The ability to move across half of Thedas in a heartbeat. Places. Arbor Wilds, Cruxis. For once, look to the elves for guidance. The Dalish shun the Arbor Wilds. When the people who would start a war over a single crumbling wall ignore a large elven ruin to the south, it bodes disaster. There is beauty and curiosity in the forest, such as trees that rise tall as towers, but those who travel too deep into them never return. You asked if I could identify the elven architecture from the few existing sketches of the outer ruins. They have curious similarities to stonework found in Arlathan, so I would guess it is likely an old elven temple, dating 200-300 years before the Imperium. Anything else is conjecture that I fear will spurn you on in this folly. Letter from Scholar of the Tevinter Imperium to Magister Cruxis, mage of high standing who led a doomed expedition into the Arbor Wilds a year later. Halam Shiral. After the glorious reclamation of the Dales, the elven capital lay empty and in ruins for years. A haven for bandits and highwaymen and all manner of miscreants. The land lay unused until the Exalted Age, when Alphonse Valmont, the very lion himself, declared that a palace should be built there in honour of the valiant actions of his brothers in besting the armies of false Emperor Xavier Dracon. Originally called Chateau Lyon, it was designed as a grand retreat for the Emperor's brothers and their families. The city of Halam Shiral grew around the palace. The first records of its existence appear in the Storm Age, when Emperor Cyril granted the title of Marquis to Sir Reginald Montclair for administration of Halam Shiral. An elven uprising destroyed Chateau Lyon in the Blessed Age. When Emperor Judicael I rebuilt it, he named the new retreat the Winter Palace. It was designed more for the Emperor and his immediate family than for any cadet branches of House Valmont, and became the heart of the Imperial Court in the darkest months of winter. On Skyhold. A page from the Enchanter's Journal scorched to near illegibility. The style is an Old Ferelden dialect, circa mid to late Divine Age. Experiments in ambient lingerings, first staging. The question isn't, is it special? The question is, how special? We found relics, but there are always relics. Elves ranged far before their empire was crushed, but rarely did they return where they did not build. This place they visited again and again. I see it in the fragments. Clays from different nations, not just craftsmen. Styles from different centuries, not just clans. And yet no record of a ruin. The structures here are all Ferelden, with stone ferried up by a typical madman. Whatever was here, whatever natural spire, it was flattened for a floor. But I know the common shapes, and I will erect them as was custom, and we shall see what the elves wish to see. The note below is in a different, uneducated hand. I finished this for Master Gnot. His workings brought lightning, much lightning. The rods are pools of metal now, and all his workings burned. Master was also struck. I write for him his last words because his fingers are ash and he did not live the night. The veil is old here. And then I think we've read the ones below that, yeah? Yeah. Anything else? Oh, yeah. The Emerald Graves. Our people call this place the Emerald Graves. Long ago, before the fall of the Dales, a tree was planted for every warrior who pledged themselves to the guardianship of the Dales. Together, these warriors were the Emerald Knights of Halam Shiral, and the forest of their trees was named the Emerald March. When the humans began encroaching once again on our borders, the Emerald Knights banded together to protect us from the incursion. But the humans were many, and their chantry powerful, and they eventually conquered the Dales. The knights fought in defense of our land, and almost all perished. The trees that once represented a mighty army were now living symbols of sacrifice, the Emerald Graves. I hear that most humans in Orlais do not call this place by its true name. They find it an inauspicious one, and refer to the forest only as the Greatwood. They refuse to see anything but wood and moss and leaves, and hope to remain ignorant of the blood that was spilled. But we of the people remember. We feel the weight of what was lost, and we see not trees, but lives given for freedom. Cool. Did we read the Summer Bazaar one? I don't remember. Probably. The Temple of Mythal. Once again, Genitivi is completely at odds with reality. Ancient elven temples were no simple shrines. Extensive digging shows that buildings radiated out of the main edifice, much like a city wrapped around a palace. Indeed, these temple complexes must have been cities once, with a veritable army of functionaries running them. Each cult had different rituals, ablutions, and prayers to their chosen patron that ran all hours of the day. The time and effort devoted to them must have been staggering. Perhaps it's best we have lost knowledge of these pagan rites, the deities that the old elves worshipped. If they existed at all, they were clearly demons masquerading as higher powers. One shudders to think of what went on before their thrones. And last but not least, some new tales. Are there any that are actually worth reading? A ghoulish delight. My dearest Regine, surely you must have heard of the Pagets' failing fortunes. They've lost almost everything. The Lord made some bad decisions and trusted people he shouldn't. All that's left is La Mason Verta in the Dales. They have to sell it and move to the city. I was called upon to find someone willing to buy the house. You would be so proud of me. I surpassed all the Lord's expectations. I looked into La Mason's history first. Did you know it was built in the time of the elves? It was a sanctuary dedicated to Andruil, goddess of the forest. The house was built around the ruins. The heart of the shrine was an etched stone altar, now in the Grand Hall. It's quite spectacular. Any noble in Val Royeaux would be envious of something with such historical significance. I planned a party to show off the house and its elven altar. We had it decorated with white flowers and candles, even brought in some hearts to graze in the garden outside. The effect was stunning. Then my stroke of genius. Remember when Lady Karin's pastime was reading about elves, and how sympathetic she was to what happened in the Dales? She couldn't stop talking about how we must make contact with the restless elven spirits. All her lady companions were so taken with the idea. Well, I did just that, or I made the guests believe that's what happened. I had to hire a mage to help, of course, a very discreet fellow from Montsimard. During the party, I talked about how the house was a haunt for sad elven spirits. They ate it all up. Romantic, they said. For the final touch, I had everyone join hands around the elven stone and pray, and the mage, no names, cast a spell that made us dance like puppets on strings and sing the Little Bluebird of Summer. It was a triumph. Offers began pouring in. One of them was even from a representative of Grand Duchess Floriane. Oh, I have so much to tell you. I can't wait to return. With great love, Ignatius. Boop, boop, boop. Anything left? No. Cool. There we go. That is a fat Codex catch-up session. There's still so many Codex entries missing, though. Like, Christ, this one, we were only like halfway through. Which means that we're definitely not good, because there's no way there's still, like, all that left to find. So there's definitely some that are just missable. And it is what it is. So, you know, we're just going to have to deal with that. Right, so that is pretty much all the side stuff for, like, people here and talking to people and everything. So in the next part, we will be going to either Hissing Wastes or Emprise de Leon. And doing one of those, and then talking to Morrigan for the next main mission. And then it sounds like that's maybe the final one, so maybe not. I hope it gives me a point of no return. Because if I want to get both of these side areas done before we finish, so if it gives me a point of no return, then I'll do them both. I guess we'll see. Anyway, that is it for now. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed. If you have, if you could leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Share the videos around, share the playlist around if you can. I would really appreciate that. And I'll see you next time for more Dragon Age Inquisition. Thanks for watching. See you then.